Hi everyone, it's Johnny Seed here, and today I thought I'd go through some of the vinyl records which I found in charity shops. There's not a great deal of them. If you've ever been around a charity shop in the UK in the last 5 years looking for vinyl, you'll probably realise there's not a lot out there. I think people have wised up now to the fact that people collect vinyl, and they will be pricing them accordingly. If you've seen any of my other videos, there's a place in Preston which occasionally has good stuff, but they obviously know what they've got, and they're there to make money, and it's their right to do so. But finding the days of finding like classic albums for a couple of £1 each are probably long gone now. Anyway, so yeah, it's just a handful of things which I found, which I thought I'd show. And starting off, we have Boney M, Night Flight to Venus. Now don't laugh. Now I know Boney M have probably got a bit of a rep for being like a cheesy 70s pop band. They did have some massive singles, obviously. And a couple of them are featured on here, particularly Rasputin and A Brown Girl in the Ring, which sold like tens of millions of copies. But this album, I see, is got a couple of very good tracks on it, and in fact it contains one of my favourite tracks, which is Painter Man, which is a cover version of the song which was originally done by The Creation, a band from the 60s. Who I think pioneered the idea of playing the guitar with the violin bow, which Jimmy Page also did a few years later in the 70s. The Painter Man has a fantastic riff. It's like, well, I'd call it disco rock. If you're not familiar with it, I mean, you know, check it out. It's also got on here a version of Heart of Gold, the Neil Young song, which is you know, worth checking out if nothing else. And also the song He Was a Steppenwolf, which is an original Frank Farian song, which is actually really good, and it's got a melody which I've been racking my brains out all day trying to think what it reminds me of. So when it pops into my head, I'll add it to the description below. But yeah, Boney M. Okay, so this was the next couple were from a batch of records which I found all in one go in a charity shop, and obviously they'd just been put out, which is why there was still some semi-decent stuff there. And so of course, if you are looking for vinyl in charity shops, it's always best to just, you know, go regularly, and you'll soon spot when something is new there, because I think it's a case of grabbing them while you can. So it's the Procol Harum Whiter Shade of Pale. 12-inch version. This was the reissue from the 80s. So I grabbed that one, that was £1.50. But the other stuff I got at the same time was, okay, a couple of albums by the band Renaissance. So I first became aware of Renaissance a few years before I found these, when I picked up a copy of their album Turn of the Card, which just stood out as being something different from the usual dreck that you find in charity shops. So I looked it up, and it turned out to be something that was worth buying for £1 or whatever it was they were asking for. But I had to sell that. I went through a period of having to sell some records to make some money. So I knew who they were, so when I saw these, I thought, oh, I'll grab them. And they were in fantastic condition. There's no damage to them whatsoever. There was a huge collection of records in this charity shop, mainly female singers, lots of folk, but they had these two albums. So this is the Song for All Seasons from 1978. This is the one that contains their top 10 hit, Northern Lights. So if you're not familiar with Renaissance and you like a bit of, I guess you'd call it prog folk in a way, so there's a female singer. It's got a bit of it's got a bit of what you might call Kate Bush meets Pink Floyd about it. So that's that one. And the other one, this is from 1973. This is the album Ashes Are Burning, featuring the song Ashes Are Burning, which is an 11-minute, 20-second epic, featuring a guitar solo from Andy Powell of Wishbone Ash and some Deep Purple style keyboards. Fantastic song, really good. I would highly recommend if you're into that kind of 70s sort of prog epic, big track, 11 minutes plus sort of songs. Certainly go and have a look at that one. Alright, one I recently picked up from Preston Market, I think this was, for, I didn't pay £3 for it. I didn't pay much more than that though, I think probably a fiver. This is a soul compilation, an Atlantic Records and Stax compilation from the 60s. Some great stuff from in here, Mustang Sally, it's got Sweet Soul Music, When a Man Loves a Woman, Knock on Wood, Land of a Thousand Dances by Wilson Pickett. Great stuff. And another one I got from the Preston Market, Rap Tracks, as seen on TV. Gatefold, just the one album, just the one actual disc though. And so I grabbed this one because it's got Mega Blast by Bomb the Bass on it, amongst other things. It's got some Run DMC on it, Kool Mo D, it's got James Brown, Kid and Play, Boogie Down Productions, Public Enemy, Yaz. So a bit of sort of early sort of rap mixed with house music from the late 80s. This compilation itself, I'm guessing I'd have to say 1989. Yeah, well 1988 for this one. The only thing that lets it down is the LL Cool J track, I Need Love, which is just abysmal. And there's the inside. And it's got a fantastic write-up, which I shall read you some of. Respect is due to rap. Rap has become the music parents just don't understand. In the same way that rock and roll seriously disturbed the ears of and good old-fashioned ways of our grandparents. Grandparents? In fact, rap music is the rock and roll of today. Rap music is the bravest music committed to pre-recorded media. Rap is youth music, your music, so don't let tradition dictate your musical taste. Destined to rock in '88, hot chillin'. That sounds like a manifesto. Yeah, very wordy. Okay, so that was Rap Tracks. And finally for this haul, something I picked up at the same time as those Renaissance records. They must have been part of the same collection. The Runaways live in Japan. The Runaways live in Japan. And I had to pick this up because, I mean, just look at this fantastic cover. I mean, that is just amazing. And there's the inside, and it's very good condition, this. Apparently this album was never meant to be released in the UK or the US. Originally just for Japan and Australia, I think, and Canada. And of course it's got the big hits on here, like Cherry Bomb. So yeah. The Runaways. And thank you very much for watching. If I find any more records in charity shops, I'll be sure to pick them up and show you what I get. Thank you.